Good morning, everybody. Last class we discussed about force and torque measurement. First, we discussed about the force measurement. The force measurement is nothing but all of you seen the analytical balance, the digital weighing machine, all those things. That's nothing but a force measurement. So, in that aspect, the the force measurement can be classified into two. One is a direct comparison, other one is an indirect comparison. So in the direct comparison, the good example is analytical balance. You already used in the physics and chemistry laboratory. And the indirect comparison is electronic weighing machine. You have seen in the grocery shop or in the uh, somewhere else. That's the electronic weighing machine. Nowadays in the chemistry lab also, they are using electronic weighing machine. Next, this is the analytical balance, which you already used in the chemistry laboratory. So here you have two pans. One is meant for placing of standard dead weight, that is W1, the unknown magnitude, that is W2, by beam balance, that is the zero reading of the dial indicator is the measurement. Next come to the point, all of you saying in the wholesale vegetable market or in the wholesale mandi, you might have seen the platform scale. So this is the platform scale. It is also called as multiple lever system or platform scale. So the function of the platform scale is to weigh large weight that maybe ranges from 10 kgs or 5 kgs to 5 tons like this. Imagine a weight that can be measured by using platform scale that ranges from 5 kgs to 5 ton or more than 5 ton. So here you have multiple lever system. You have multiple levers here. For that reason, it is called multiple lever system. All of you observe here. So this is the platform. Below that there will be a lever which is hinged at one point. Again, other point is placed on the big lever. Again, this lever is hinged at one point. Whichever the force acting by the unknown magnitude W that is directly transferred to this lever, from this lever to the main lever, and the other end of the main lever is connected to the tension bar. So the tension bar moves up downward direction due to the force of W. So here you have ice weight. So from that you can measure the divisions of it. For example, you can place 20 into 2 or 10 into 2 and 20 into 1 here. If you want to measure, you can move the poise weight to the sixth division. Then this beam will move up and down and it will come to the center of the place provided for measurement. So last class we discussed about this. From this you have a small derivation, force into perpendicular distance. That's the T into P, Ws into A. Finally, you can derive an equation for the W equal to A by B, C by H, W S. That is the R into Ws. R is the scale multiplication ratio. Up to this you can write in the examination. That is enough. That is all of you remember a force into perpendicular distance. That is all of you observe here the tension T into distance B, which is equal to Ws into A. And one more advantage of platform scale, you can place the weight or unknown magnitude anywhere on the platform. You will get accurate result. That is the advantage of using platform scale. Let's come to the point. Very important. Almost all the question paper, you have a question on proving ring. Proving ring. Say all of you perform experiment using universal testing machine, that is tension test, compression test, shear test, like that. We have conducted many tests on the universal testing machine. See, all of you observed the universal testing machine, but how do you calibrate universal testing machine? That's the main concept of using proving ring. how do you calibrate the universal testing machine? So that is nothing but by using proving ring, you can calibrate large weighing machines. For example, universal testing machine. The name itself indicates a proving ring. So there will be a ring. From that you can prove or you can calibrate the universal testing machine. See, all of you observe here the construction of the proving ring. There will be a ring in the center of the ring, which is fixed to the, you can say fixed to the center of the ring, that there will be a reed. The reed is nothing but the thread. Reed is nothing but the thread. Bottom, you have a small indicator weight. Remember, the reed has the small indicator weight. Below that, there will be a micrometer scale. On that, the reed or the thread oscillates in positive as well as in the negative direction. That is nothing but left and right side. The deflection of the thread in left and right side. Say, apply the load in the universal testing machine and fix the proving ring in between the two jaws, upper and lower jaws, and see that the read exactly the zero reading, that is at the null balance. Then apply the load on the universal testing machine by interval, or all of a sudden you can apply the load. So due to that load, the read should be at the center of the micrometer scale, or should read 0, or should read 0. But there will be error in the universal testing machine. Then read reflects left side and right side, and when the which come to the standstill condition, if it is the read at the left side or right side, you can rectify the error. That may be positive error or negative error, that can be rectified by placing the read exactly at the center by adjusting the load in the universal testing machine. Apply the load in intervals 200, 400, 600 like that, or even you can apply the direct load of 1 ton or 2 ton like that, so that you can observe the deflection or oscillation of the reed by the application of the load on the proving ring. All of you observe here, there will be a two ends are here. You can say anvil, upper anvil, lower anvil. You can fix these two anvil to the upper and the lower jaws of the universal testing machine. This is the principle of operation of the proving ring. All of you, please write down the question. Mark it very, very important. Please write down the question. Explain briefly with the neat sketch. Explain briefly with the neat sketch the proving ring. The proving ring. Write down the question. All of you, once again, write down one more question. Explain briefly with the neat sketch the principle of operation of proving ring. Principle of operation of proving ring. Put a question mark. List the applications of. List the applications. You write this much only. List the applications. I repeat. Explain briefly with the neat sketch principle of operation of proving ring. Put a question mark. Continue the question. List the applications. Almost all the question paper, you have a question. Mark it very important, and this time you can expect this question in the examination. One thing you remember, proving ring is used to calibrate heavy measuring machines. For example, universal testing machine, coordinate measuring machine, etc. Proving ring is used for calibration of heavy measuring machine such as universal testing machine, coordinate measuring machine, etc. Next, come to the point, the torque measurement. The torque measurement. Torque measurement is nothing but the power developed by the engine. Power developed by the engine. All of you say in the advertisement or in the newspaper for advertisement of car, they show you that the car produces 150 meganewtons per meter torque at 4,500 RPM. What is the meaning of this? That is nothing but at the engine speed of 4,500 RPM, the engine produces torque of 150 meganewtons per meganewtons meter. So that is nothing but the 150 meganewton meter is produced at the speed of 4,500 RPM of the engine. See, the torque of the engine, the torque produced by the engine measured by using the instrument is called dynamometer. Remember, the torque produced by the engine, by the motor, by the turbine, or any prime mover. For example, you only understand the torque produced by the engine that can be measured by using the instrument is called torque measuring instrument or dynamometer. Dynamometer. The torque can be expressed in terms of T, uppercase letter T, and the torque equal to force into radius. Force into radius. That is T equal to F into R. The torque T can be computed like this. Torque T equal to force into distance of the reaction arm. Force into radius. Force into radius of the reaction arm. T equal to F into R. Next, come to the point. The dynamometers can be classified into absorption dynamometer, driving dynamometer, and transmission dynamometer. Say, after opening of your classes, I take you to the mechanical laboratory where we use the dynamometer for the torque measurement of 4-stroke petrol engine, 4-stroke diesel engine, and 2-stroke petrol engine, 2-stroke diesel engine. We use electrical dynamometer for measurement of torque. Say, the absorption, driving, and transmission dynamometers are used for measurement of torque in all places. first come to the point. What is the meaning of absorption? Absorption. What is the meaning of absorption? Say, whichever the torque dissipated by the engine, that is absorbed by the dynamometer. From that, you can measure the torque. You can measure the torque. That is nothing but absorption. The name itself shows, the name itself indicates absorption, which absorbs the torque, which absorbs the energy. That's called absorption dynamometer. Next come to the point, driving dynamometer. Say here, here they couple with the motor, they couple with the electrical loading system or other loading method. So in driving dynamometer, usually that is coupled with the alternator, and the engine starts to produce torque. Due to that, there will be production of electric current, in the alternator. That is the torque developed by the engine. That is developed by the engine. That is in terms of amperes. In terms of amperes. Next, come to the point. The transmission dynamometer. That is nothing but in electrical machines. Say we are using motor for driving of machine tools. For driving of machine tools or driving of anything, we use motor. So how do you measure the torque produced by the motor? For that, you can couple with the coupling by alternator. You can couple the alternator to the electrical motor. So whichever the torque developed by the motor, that can be measured by the electricity generation in the alternator. The motor is directly coupled to the alternator. The torque produced in the motor, that can be measured by using electrical alternator, which produces electricity, that is in amperes. That's the torque in amperes. After that, you can convert that into Newton meters. So like that, you have three types of dynamometer. One is absorption dynamometer, nothing but which absorbs the electrical energy. For this, good example is Prony brake. So we discuss the principle of operation of Prony brake in next class or today. The absorption dynamometer, whichever the torque produced by the engine, that is absorbed by the dynamometer, which produce the output in Newton meters. And next come to the point, driving dynamometer. This is nothing but that is used for measurement of the torque produced by the engine. The engine shaft is directly coupled to the alternator. Once the torque is produced at the maximum RPM of the engine, note down the electric current produced by the alternator. It is directly coupled to the engine. That is known as driving dynamometer. The name itself indicates driving. Driving means the engine drives the alternator. Due to that driving of the alternator, you have an electric current that can be measured by using ammeter. After that, you can convert that into current into Newton meter. That's the torque produced by the engine. Next, come to the point, transmission dynamometer. Here also the engine or electric motor. Say the torque produced by the electric motor, that can be measured by using transmission dynamometer. So you can visit the electrical lab, and the induction motor is directly coupled to the alternator. Whichever the torque produced by the electrical motor, that can be measured by using the alternator. The name itself, transmission of torque from motor to the alternator, that can be measured by using transmission dynamometer. All of you, please write down the question. All of you, please write down the question. Please write down the question. What is torque or define torque? Define torque. Put a question mark. Explain briefly. Explain briefly the classification of dynamometers. Explain briefly the classification of dynamometer. Next line, write down answer for this question. See, the answer is in brief. You can elaborate in the examination. Torque is defined as force into radial distance of the radial arm. Reaction arm. Torque can be measured using dynamometer. See, the force can be defined as force into radial distance of the reaction arm R. Below that, write down torque T equal to F into R. F into R. F is force in Newton meters. So force only in newtons. Force in newtons. And R radius of the reaction arm, small letter R, radius small letter R in meters. Below that, write down torque T equal to F into R, Newton meter. Newton meter. So this is the first answer for the first portion of the question. Next, come to the point. The second portion of the question is the classification of dynamometers. That is number one, absorption dynamometer. Number two, driving dynamometer. Number three, transmission dynamometer. Transmission dynamometer. Once again, which are the portions covered till today. So after the first test, that is the force measurement. In force measurement, first is direct comparison. The force measurement can be classified into two types. One is direct comparison, other one is indirect comparison. A good example for direct comparison is analytical balance, and the very important question for you this time in the examination. All of you mark very important multiple lever system or platform scale. Mark it very important. You have this question for 10 marks this time. Next, come to the point, the proving ring. See, the calibration of heavy measuring machines. For example, UTM, Universal Testing Machine, and Coordinate Measuring Machine. In that both the machines, you can use the proving ring for measurement of the force measurement in that machine, that can be calibrated by using proving ring. The proving ring is used for calibration of measuring instruments. Next, come to the point, the torque measurement. The definition of the torque is the force into radius of the reaction arm, small letter r. T equal to F into R. The torque is in nanometers, the force in newtons, and the radius of the reaction arm is in meters. T equal to F into R. Then the torque measuring instruments are called as dynamometers. Torque measuring instruments are called as dynamometers. There will be three types of dynamometers are there for measurement of torque. So the classification of a dynamometer is the absorption dynamometer, driving dynamometer, and transmission dynamometer. So all the three are used for measurement of torque developed in the engine and the torque developed by the motor. So all the dynamometers used for measurement of torque. This much is enough for this class. Now I stop at this stage and I will continue in the next class. Ganesh, can you listen?
Yes, sir.
Today I stop at stage and I will continue in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.